Hello and welcome. My name is Manish Katiyar, Assistant Professor, Axis Institute of Planning and Management, Kanpur. So, in this lecture, unit number 3rd, lecture number 13, we will discuss about collection policies. In earlier topic, we have discussed about the collection credit policy, credit terms, credit standards. Now, we will focus on collection policies and credit management in India. Some of the innovative techniques have been introduced after introduction of the online payment, online billing mechanism. There are certain advancement in these technologies, and obviously we are using these technologies. Okay. So, here we are focusing on collection policies and innovative policies or innovative techniques which have been already introduced in India also. So, obviously we are discussing about the receivables, here we are discussing about the collection policies of receivables. As we all know that all these policies relating to credit period, credit terms, cash discount, trade discount, all these policies are framed by the finance manager of a company. Now, the collection policies of for receivables, as all the finances are controlled by the finance manager, here we are discussing about the collection policies, and there is a standard disclosure or disclaimer that these are the standard collection policies of receivables. These policy may vary from industry to industry, while you will actually work in a specific industry. Okay. But the policies may be almost, their policies almost are the same. So, account receivable consists of, again debtors, we are discussing about debtors. Account receivable consists of the credit a business grants its customers when selling goods or services. They take the form of either trade credit, which the company extend to other companies. Trade credit, again in our last discussion I have explained you the term trade credited. The data business around to customer when selling goods they from the other trade credit. हमने लास्ट टर्न में भी इस चीज़ को सॉरी ट्रेड क्रेडिट कोड सॉरी आ नहीं रहा वो यहाँ पे डिस्कस किया था. ठीक, ये ट्रेड क्रेडिट के बारे में ऑलरेडी हम लोग डिस्कस कर चुके हैं, मालूम है. ट्रेड क्रेडिट मतलब ड्यूरिंग business routine business activity during routine trade we allow customers to pay at later date, that is trade credit, which the company extend to companies or customers credit, which the company extend to its ultimate consumers. For a business to grant credit to its customer, it has to do the following: establish credit and collection policies and evaluate individual credit applicants. ये तो in general हो गया. This policies is for in general establishing credit and collection policies, and next one है evaluate the individual credit applicant. Individually हर पार्टी को आपको analysis करना है. Forming of credit policy, how the credit policy is formed. Every company must adopt a credit policy. Credit policy relates to point number A, quantity of trade account or credit standards. Volume of sales will be influenced by the credit policy of a concern. Again, if you are following the liberal credit policy, your credit period will increase. If credit period is increased, your amount blocked with debtors will also increased. By liberalizing credit policy, sales will be increased. मालूम है आपको? The increased volume of sale will be increase the cost of risk of bad debts. Credit to only creditworthy customers will save cost like bad debt losses, collection cost and investigation cost. Quality of trade account should be decided so that credit facilities are extended only up to optimum level. Next, B point, length of credit period. कितना लंबा credit period? How much time is to be allowed to a customer? It means the period allowed to the customer for making the payment. Customers paying well in time also be allowed certain cash discount. Again, paying well in time allowed certain cash discount. That means this cash discount is not offered to each or every debtors. These cash discount is offered only when or only to those customers who are paying in time. Trade discount is generally trade policy which is offered to each and every customer, but cash discount will be offered to the only those customers who are paying in time. Concern fixes its own terms of credit depending upon its customer and volume of sales. अगेन वही बात आ गई, हर कस्टमर्स के लिए नहीं है, डिपेंड करता है आप किस तरह के कस्टमर्स हैं. नॉर्मल सी बात है कि इंडिविजुअल कस्टमर और इंस्टीट्यूशनल कस्टमर में डिफरेंस होगा. इंडिविजुअल कस्टमर कितने के प्रोडक्ट खरीदे, 100, 200, 1 लाख रुपए तक के. बट इंस्टीट्यूशनल बायर, सपोज इफ यू वांट टू बाय अ एयर कंडीशन फॉर योर होम, हाउ मच AC you will buy? Maximum 2 or 3 or maybe only 1. But an institutional buyer, he will require at least 150 air conditioners. So, this is the difference between the individual buyer and institutional buyer depending upon its customer and volume of sales. Okay. Next, cash discount. Cash discount is allowed, C point है, cash discount is allowed to immediate payment of customers, immediate payment of customers, यानी कि हर कस्टमर्स को नहीं दे रहे हैं कैश डिस्काउंट. सिर्फ हम लोग कलेक्शन पॉलिसी के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. एंड वी आर डिस्कसिंग अबाउट द कलेक्शन पॉलिसीज, एंड अंडर कलेक्शन पॉलिसीज कैश डिस्काउंट इज ऑफर्ड टू ओनली दोज कस्टमर्स हु आर मेकिंग इमीडिएट पेमेंट. Discount and allowed involved cost. Obviously, if we allow the discount, our profit margin will reduce. Discount should be allowed only if its cost is less than the earnings. Quite obvious, सभी को मालूम है कि प्रॉफिट से ही डिस्काउंट देंगे, कॉस्ट से तो डिस्काउंट देंगे नहीं. नेक्स्ट, डिस्काउंट पीरियड. कलेक्शन ऑफ रिसीवेबल्स इन्फ्लुएंस्ड बाय द पीरियड अलाउड फॉर अवेलिंग डिस्काउंट्स. Additional period allowed for this facility may prompt some more customer to avail discount and make payment. Obviously वही बात है, हम डिस्काउंट ऑफर कर रहे हैं और डिस्काउंट पीरियड के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. जितनी जल्दी पेमेंट उतना बड़ा डिस्काउंट, जितने देर में पेमेंट उतना छोटा डिस्काउंट, और लेंथ इंक्रीज करते जाएंगे, नो डिस्काउंट, कोई डिस्काउंट ऑफर नहीं करेंगे, आप फुल एंड फाइन पेमेंट करिए आके. नेक्स्ट, एग्जीक्यूटिंग क्रेडिट पॉलिसी. After formulating credit policy, proper execution is important. क्रेडिट पॉलिसी हमने बना ली, किसके लिए बनाई है? कस्टमर्स के लिए. If once a credit policy is formulated, then we will implement it. Finance manager will implement credit policy upon its customers. After formulating credit policy, proper execution is important. Evaluation of credit applications and finding out the credit worthiness of customer should be undertaken. Now, at this level, you students are quite mature, and here I think there is no need to explain credit worthiness. I have already discussed it, in which I have discussed about the credit rating agencies, credit rating agencies of India and outside India, we have already discussed it. Next, collection credit information. Collecting credit information about the customer is the first step in implementing credit policy. कस्टमर के बारे में जानकारी कर लीजिए. Here I am not here we are not talking about those customer on retailers. Here we are talking about the institutional buyers. Information should be adequate and proper analysis about the financial position of the customer is possible. कैसे करना है हमने आपको बताया था, किस तरीके से बैलेंस शीट स्टडी करना है, मार्केट स्टडी करके बारे में डिस्कशन हम लोग ऑलरेडी कर चुके हैं. ठीक. नेक्स्ट, क्रेडिट एनालिसिस. आफ्टर गैदरिंग इंफॉर्मेशन analyze the credit worthiness of the customer. Credit analysis will determine the degree of risk associated, the capacity of the customer to borrow, and his ability and willingness to pay. Credit decision. After analyzing the credit worthiness of the customer, decision has to take whether the credit is to be extended and them up to what level. अगर क्रेडिट पीरियड इंक्रीज करना तो कितने लेवल तक इंक्रीज करना है. मैच द क्रेडिट वर्थनेस ऑफ द कस्टमर विद द क्रेडिट स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑफ द कंपनी. इफ कस्टमर क्रेडिट वर्थनेस इज अबव द क्रेडिट स्टैंडर्ड्स देन द क्रेडिट इज अलाउड. सिंपल सी बात होगी. नाउ, फॉर्मुलेटिंग एंड एग्जीक्यूटिंग कलेक्शन पॉलिसी. कलेक्शन पॉलिसी बी टर्म्ड एट स्ट्रिक्ट एंड लीनियंट. दो ही पॉलिसी हैं, या तो आप बहुत स्ट्रिक्ट हो जाइए या लीनियंट. हियर आई थिंक वी डोंट नीड टू एक्सप्लेन द वर्ड स्ट्रिक्ट एंड लीनियंट. फ्रॉम द वेरी बिगिनिंग ऑफ दिस वर्किंग कैपिटल कॉन्सेप्ट we are continuously focusing on the strict working capital management and lenient working capital. A strict policy of collection will involve more efforts on collections. क्या करेंगे, बार बार उसको फ़ोन करेंगे, रिमाइंडर भेजेंगे, मैसेज भेजेंगे. जैसे आपके में देखते होंगे कि इफ़ यू आर यूजिंग ए मोबाइल फ़ोन from whether it is prepaid or postpaid, suppose you are majority of the customers are using the prepaid connections. If you are using a prepaid connection, they will continuously inform you your plan is going to be expired. Each and every morning they will forward a message in your message box. Even then, whenever you make a first call of a day, they will inform you soon your plan is going to be expired. What is this? This is the strict policy of collection. Next, such policy will enable early collection of dues and will reduce bad debts losses. Obviously. Next, it may also reduce the volume of sales. If you are following the strict collection policy, the volume of sales will also be reduced. ये यहाँ पे आपको बता रहे हैं. ठीक है. उसके बाद, some customers may not appreciate the effort of the concerned and may shift to the another concern, thus causing reduces sales and profit. Some customer may not appreciate the effort of the customer. कुछ customers को नहीं अच्छा लगेगा, वो छोड़ देंगे, दूसरे का चीज़ को वो फॉलो कर रहे होंगे, वो उन्होंने आपको यहाँ पे बताया है. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट, innovations in receivable management. इनोवेशंस इन रिसीवेबल मैनेजमेंट, जो रिसीवेबल का कॉन्सेप्ट है इसको ऑलरेडी काफ़ी कुछ मिलता है तो ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर चुके हैं, बट यहाँ पे थ्योरी के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से डिटेल में डिस्कस करते हैं। इनोवेशंस इन रिसीवेबल मैनेजमेंट, क्या क्या नई टेक्निक्स इंट्रोड्यूस हो चुकी हैं। री इंजीनियरिंग रिसीवेबल प्रोसेस, आपका जो रिसीवेबल प्रोसेस है उसको री इंजीनियरिंग के बारे में बात की है। इन सम ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन रियल कॉस्ट रिडक्शन and performance improvement have been achieved by re-engineering in account receivable process. Re-engineering is a fundamental rethinking and redesigning of business process by incorporating modern business approaches. The nature of account receivable is such that decisions made elsewhere in the organization are likely to affect the level of resources that are expended to the management of account receivable. क्या क्या इनोवेशंस हुआ उसके बारे में यहाँ पे बात कर रहे हैं। री इंजीनियरिंग वर्ड यूज़ किया जा रहा है। री इंजीनियरिंग द फंडामेंटल रीथिंग। री इंजीनियरिंग मीन्स जो ट्रेडिशनल सिस्टम था कलेक्शन का वो सिस्टम अब चेंज हो गया, सभी को मालूम है। अर्लियर whenever we have to collect a payment from our customer, what was the practice? Customer simply issues a check, we collect that check and deposit that check in our bank account, and bank will process that check and recovers that amount, mentioned amount from customers, and credit that amount in my account. Now the practice has changed. The revised practice or re-engineered practice is whenever if I have to pay our creditors, we simply call or ask their bank details such as bank account number, bank name, and what is called IFSC code, and we simply attach their bank account to our company's bank account, and whenever we need to transfer fund, we simply log in into internet banking and transfer from our account to customer's account. This process eliminated the time gap. Earlier this process used to take 3 to 4 days whenever I issue or we receive a check. Now this time has been eliminated. So this the re-engineering of the fundamental rethinking, redesigning of business by incorporating modern business approaches. This approach is used by us in our daily life, like whenever you place a buying order of a certain goods through online selling companies like Flipkart and Amazon and Mitra also. So whenever you buy a particular goods, you need to make payment. What you do? We simply pay first and receive goods on later on. How we pay? We simply pay through net banking or debit card. So these are the re-engineering or innovative processes or innovative management in receivables. Now what online companies are doing? They are simply offering additional cash discount to speed up the payment. What they say? If you make payment, if you buy or if you place a prepaid order, we will allow you 2% discount. Okay. So these are the fundamental changes which have been done in the receivable or collection management. Next, centralization. Centralization of high nature transaction of account receivables and payables is one of the practice for better efficiency. What is centralization? Centralization means by incorporating the internet banking, there is only one bank account and customers can simply deposit or transfer payment in that particular bank account of a company through various channels, whether it is online payment, credit card, through debit card, through RTGS, NEFT, IMPS, whatever mechanism you are using, company has a single bank account, that is centralized bank account. In centralized bank account, company collect the fund and company does not need to maintain a different bank account on a different locations. This is possible through the innovation techniques, innovation technologies. Alternative payment strategies. Alternative payment strategies in addition to additional practices result into efficient in the management of account receivables. It is observed that payment of account outstanding is likely to be quicker where a number of payment alternatives are made available to customers. Besides, the convenient payment method is a marketing tool that is benefit in attracting the retaining customers. Convenient mechanism सभी जो online portal discuss कर रहे हैं. The following alternative modes of payment may also be used along with traditional methods like check, book, etc. for making timely payment, added customer services, reducing remittances, processing cost and improved cash flow are better than data turnover. What is remittances processes? Remittances processes may be a new word for certain some of the your students. Why? Because this remittances word is used in the export trade. Whenever a exporter exports goods or services, he receives the amount in US dollar, normally US dollar, not only Indian currency. So, whenever that amount is received in US dollar, that amount is to be converted in the Indian rupee. So, from outside India, any person or any customer makes you payment, that and that payment, that US dollar is to be converted into Indian rupee through RBI. Whole this process is called remittances. It takes at least 6 months to 3 months. Remittances cost and improve cash flows and better data turnover ratio. Already we have discussed, we have calculated data turnover ratio. Data turnover ratio comes in times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times, and data turnover ratio should be less. Direct debit, that is authorization for the transfer of fund from the purchaser's bank account. You know all these are terms, but IVR, integrated voice response system, uses human operator and a computer based system to allow customer to make payment over phone. Collection by a third party, suppose Google Pay is a third party, Phone Pay is a third party, Bheem is a third party. The payment can be collected by a authorized external firm. The payment can be made by cash, check, credit card, electronic fund transfer. Banks may also be acting as a collecting agent of their customers and directly depositing collection to customer bankers. Simply you may see a POS machine, point of sales machine. You insert your debit card, now their debit card are Wi-Fi enabled. You can simply touch your card with this POS machine and your amount is requisite amount is debited from your bank account. They are discussing about that policy. A logbox processing system, this is a age old technique. Now, this technology almost obsolete. Next, payment via internet using fund transfer method like RTGS, NEFT, IMPS, UPI, you all know these, right? Real time gross settlements, 5 बार settlement करते थे. अब RBI की there are new guidelines for RBI, they are doing RTGS in 24 hours and even on public holiday including Sunday also. NEFT, National Electronic Funds Transfer, immediate payment mechanism system, or UPI just like Bheem, Google Pay and Bheem. App based payment like Paytm, PhonePe, etc. These are the modern technology which is or which are actively being used by the seller or supplier of the goods. So, this was the collection process, collection mechanism, collection policy relating to receivables. So, thank you for being with me. Thank you very much.